How's it going, everybody? So today we are going to do like normal work because that's what we do. We do normal work and record ourselves. And today the topic of the day is BVD dashboards and no skills required. Now I say no skills required because no graphic editing skills required, no artist skills required, right? Because I completely lack those. Those that are familiar with me know that I just don't have them. So am fortunate enough to use an external source for dashboard design, but in general, if you don't have one of those, you can just go over the internet, type for dashboard design or dashboard ideas or dashboard for whatever topic you're building, and just replicate the same thing and steal, basically, because believe me, no one is going to blame you. That's dashboard design, not Mona Lisa. And definitely those that know the technical stuff are pretty much in all places lacking in design skills. That's what I'm familiar with. So what I found out is that I can still use some of the old design or design that is done by others while repurposing the dashboard. In a previous video about this, about half a year ago or something like that, we had this dashboard design where we actually took a part of another dashboard, copy pasted it into here, and created this nice four-tier cluster. Three-tier cluster with 4 servers in it. And then we, of course, mapped it in BVD and everything else, but that's not the topic of the video for today. But now a new challenge is in front of us. And the challenge is that I need to have this dashboard adapted to have 10 servers instead of 4. So like always, like previously, we are just going to redesign the whole thing, and we will start, of course, by saving as. So we say save as, and we go to the BVD folder, and we are going to say AOS shop cluster drill down VSDM. That's going to be the name of it, and I already made a mistake in the name because now it says a capital L. So let me just quickly change that. Okay. Right. So rename. And I'm going to say cluster AOS drill down VSDM. Okay, fantastic. So there we have it. And let's just start redesigning. So if previously I had 4 servers, now I need the screen space to provide me with details for 10 servers, which means that I need to add to shorten those, maybe remove some of the metrics. And instead of focusing on performance, for example, I can just delete this component altogether, right? And just use some of the other bits. So I'll start by removing the clutter, and of course I'll delete all of those because I don't want to do it 4 or 10 different times. And also it's going to be named shop cluster. Okay, just so I would have a way to distinguish it. Now I will keep the open events, and I'll drag it here, and maybe we can even zoom in a little bit, to just have it a little bit better. And now I don't know what I dragged and dropped over there. What was the purpose of this thing? But probably it's not grouped. So we need to take, right. So now we will take this underline widget, and apparently those are 4 different widgets. So we'll just drag and drop them over here. And you know what? I'll also take this critical events line. Probably it's not as centralized as I want it to be. That's more or less. And I will take the underlying graph and drag and drop it here. Okay, maybe I need to make it just a tad smaller. As you see, I'm not changing the overall design. I'm still deciding what the data am. I'm still adhering to some design approach, so it's not just free floating without any control. but I do maintain some logic behind it, right? And I'm not sure what this means, but I'll resize it as well. Oh, okay, so I can actually go like this. Okay, is that the one that, right. So I'm not sure what's the bottom part of it is, but that's okay. Cool, so let's zoom out and let's see what we have. So we know that we left enough space for, what is that thing? It's kind of squashing the whole thing over here. And I have no idea what this thing is in general. So I'll try to select it once more. As you see, yes, multi-layered tools are not really easy to use in some cases, and I'm not even sure what am I doing. What am I doing? Okay, that thing is just squashing the whole internal structure, and I need to figure out how to deal with that. And the solution, of course, was to take everything that I need and delete the original. It's just easier like this, right? And there are still things to rework. So let's just do this, delete them by one, clear the canvas, and this whole rectangle. Okay, and apparently I forgot to copy some of the components, which would be those components. Um, so let's do just that. So as you see, my spacing over here is not really similar, so I'm going to space it a little bit better. And I'm also going to take 4 of these, and I'm going to clone them over here. So as you see, we continue designing, right? So more or less, those are centralized. And we can say also align center. Oh, that's not good because those 4 need to be grouped. And this one needs to be sent 1 layer to back. That's it. So now we select 4 of those, and we need to treat them as a group. So if you remember the grouping part, okay, we will right click and group them. And grouping allows us to treat elements as if they are relatable or related to each other. So I'll group this one. So we'll have group inside a group inside a group inside a group, which is completely fine. That's a normal Microsoft design. And we just going to put it over here. Okay, and we are going to grab the critical events bit, put it somewhere here. We're gonna say critical events, and we're going to select the critical events and this graph, and we're going to say align center, and now they're both aligned within themselves, and we can more or less align it here in the graph. Okay, so that looks very symmetrical, and I can just delete the rest of the garbage, right? So there's going to be this, there's going to be that, and going to be that. Okay, so let's zoom out. And this is what we have. So now what we need to do is just select and group all of it. So we would be able to replicate this whole thing. right? And we have one thing missing over here, the critical events is missing for some reason. So we have to go back, okay? And these critical events, we'll select it and probably it is grouped with something. So we will say, no, I want to select it. And I want to say ungroup. It's actually not grouped with anything. So we'll have to go once more and delete everything. So as you see, the design process is, there's a lot of back and forth. And something here is related to critical events. So I'm going to copy it. And now I'm going to delete the whole thing. And now I'm going to paste this thing once more and place it somewhere here. Let's see if it's still symmetrical. It is, right? So we go, we select the group, we select the underlying group, we select this group, and we say right click, group together. So now when I drag and drop it, no elements should remain. Cool. So now let's think about the outline. I just want to have tiles, nothing more. So to make the tiles more fitting my needs, I'm going to replicate it once. Okay, and according to what I see, there is not enough space to accommodate 5 of those, right? And I do have 5 of those over here. So we're going to select all of them, and we are going to resize all of them. Okay, it still doesn't look like we have enough space, so we're going to resize them a little bit more. Okay, it looks a little bit better. So now I can actually select this thing and I'll put it on the right side. And I can roughly distribute the other tiles over here. And then I'll ask Visio to do its magic. Okay, so we see that there is more or less enough space to accommodate all of those 5 different tiles. Fantastic. So we will align it to the top. So they will be on the same line. And we are going to distribute, actually, the position is going to be distribute horizontally. And now it's going to look at the left one and on the most right one and distribute the 3 in the middle between all of them effectively. So that looks pretty cool. And we have something really weird going on with all of those dashboards. You see, there is kind of a number replication. And I have no idea what this number stands for. Oh, I know. It says 20, but there is not enough space for it, really. So we will have to fix it once and delete all of those. So I'm going to delete all of those. And that's the beauty of templating, right? That's the beauty of grouping. Because now I can actually go one by one and in those widgets, and I can change the size of font slightly in all of them, so they would be able to show dual digits numbers. And then I just go outside of it, and I select the component once more. I paste it 5 times, right? And then I'll just take this one, I'll drag it to the right. And then I'll select all of the components that I want to align. And it's going to be the same thing, align at the top, and then position, distribute horizontally. And here's my problem solved. So now I can right click and copy. And now I can paste them. Once more, zoom out. and just align them right here. Okay, and now I can select the ones on top, and we can do the same thing, align to the left. So, oh, come on. I think they're pretty much aligned between themselves, right? Right, they are all aligned to the left. Align there, align middle, align bottom, auto align. Let's see the auto align. And it seems that we need to align between two groups. So I'm going to right click all of them. I'm going to right click group them together. And I'm going to, oh, come on, delete all of them. I'm going to select this group, Control V. And we can drag it. And now selecting two of those groups, I can align between themselves, right? So I can say align left. So you see it there determines that this is the main object to which this one should be aligning. So it moves the bottom one. And now actually, should we distribute them somehow? And I think that the spacing here at the top is not in our favor, right? It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit too much. So I know that the spacing here, I like it. The spacing here is very similar. So I'm going to select this, this, and this. And I'm going to say align center, right? Actually, not align. I'm going to say distribute vertically. So to just change the position of the middle one. And now it all looks harmonious and I can use it. And just to remind you, we went from, not from this, we went from this to this in what? In 17 minutes, including all kinds of issues that we didn't know that are going to occur. So 17 minutes for a fully capable dashboard that you can upload and use. That's huge. I mean, that is not a small thing, and definitely this skill of replicating other people's work and using some PowerPoint or Visio, which is the same thing, skills really makes the difference. So I hope you can use it in your work somehow. And I'll see you in the next video where we are going to probably configure some data channels assigned to this dashboard.